Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Khadijah binti Abdullah 258991. So I'm going to talk about the economic environment and economic performance in Cambodia. According to IMF, economic growth for Cambodia being the highest throughout the Asian region, Cambodia's economy increased consistently, largely driven by strong export performance and powerful domestic demand. Since 2012, Cambodia has experienced steady economic growth with GDP, but due to COVID-19, according to IMF, it is projected that GDP growth slipped to negative 1.6% in 2020 and rise up back to 6.1% in 2021. Cambodia's fiscal policy increased in 2019 and the economy heavily dollarized, which presenting it is still vulnerable financial sector to major currency risk. The government debt forecast to hit 30.1% of GDP in 2020 to 30.6% in 2021. The government spending reached 1.4% in 2019, which is forecast to rise 3.1% in 2020. The rate of inflation was projected 2.4% in 2019, with a downtrend with this year and further 1.5% and 1.9%. The agriculture accounts for 22% of GDP, and the primary industry is vulnerable to natural disaster, so the development remains largely inadequate. And as for the manufacturing generated for additional 32.3% of GDP, and services account for about 40%, to the tourist number rising continuously.
My name is Evelyn and my metric number is 264040. Now I would like to talk about the political environment in Cambodia. This is the graph that shows the political stability in Cambodia for past 20 years. We start from 1966 till 2018. As we can see that the graph shows the country has been unstable from past 1966 till 2014, and the country has been started to stable and monitorize themselves from 2014 till the 2018. As we can see, the average intensive of Cambodia was focused with the lowest at the negative 1.26 at the year of 1998, and the highest at the year of 2016. The country has just developed and they just have been stable in political and social wise in 2014 till the 2018. The reason why the country has been unstable for the past years was because the country has been have lots of political and social behavior issues such as corruption in politicals and criminal behavior such as drug trackings and terrorism in the country. And it also has been given an effect to the economic country, and the economic country has been dropped because of this political stability. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Hidayatul Adawiyah binti Zulkifli and my metric number is 256480. I will explain about the major financial crisis. Financial crisis is while there have been a variety of analysis of the impact of the crisis on the Cambodia, there have been none of the household level coping strategy of the poor. Financial crash have been a common occurrence over the last several decades. There have been a variety of incidents in the Latin America, including some from Argentina, Brazil, and Mexico. The global financial crisis, whose epicenter is the US, was unparalleled in terms of its magnitude and scope, and possibly more severe in its effect than the one connected with the Great Depression. This research is seek to look more closely at the effect of the crisis on Cambodia's development and deprivation. Before the war, Cambodia and several other developing countries was experiencing a crisis as a result of rises in food and oil price that caused misery for a significant number of disadvantaged people in the world. Both countries were troubled by a significant border conflict between Thailand and Cambodia last year. This is going to be daunting challenge to this what disentangle any of the impacts connected with the global financial crisis from those resulting from certain incidents that arise during the same era. To understand the consequence of the financial crisis, distinguishing between immediate and primary impact, those correlated with its secondary and indirect costs is important. In the case of Cambodia, this indirect effect could be much more serious than the direct effects. Exports of the apparel from Cambodia, which makes up around 3/4 of the country's overall exports, have already decreased dramatically and have seen mass staff layoffs. Monthly exports dropped from a total of the $220 million in 2008 to $100 million in January 2009 by 15%. Since the textile industry employs um, only 4% of the total labor power, the indirect and multiplier impact of job losses in this industry can be important. They are likely to aggravate the difficulties facing poorer households from which many of the garment workers come. The effect of the crisis will likely to be serious on the Cambodia's gross domestic product, which is GDP production. Next is about Eastern Cambodia is in financial trouble, so that they have frequent IMF visits. Yes, Cambodia formally joined the IMF on 31 December 1969. After years of internal and external violence, the government of Cambodia is currently concentrating its attention on restoring and renovating the national economy by grants and loans from multilateral institutions such as the IMF, which is International Monetary Fund. In order to obtain global economic legitimacy from the International Monetary Fund, Cambodia was forced to introduce fiscal structural reforms that mirror the dynamic of the free market economy. One downside of IMF participation is that countries are entitled to professional support in finance, monetary relations, and trade issues, and one way they can act is by country monitoring and Article 4 consultation. Through Article 4 of Through those meetings, the IMF Economics Committee meets countries with IMF participation and assess economic and financial trends. That's why Cambodia often visit the IMF when they are in financial trouble.
Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to Dr. Hasnizal. My name is Ain Nazra binti Muhammad Janan. My metric number 265411. Okay, today I would like to present about the major economic event of the Cambodia. As we all know, economy is one of the important elements for several countries, including Cambodia. Cambodia is one of the poorest countries However, it has changed its economic status from small human growth to medium human development. Cambodia also has changed its economic status and has shown economic progress drastically. Economic sector of the Cambodia is the agriculture as well as growth in textile, apparel, tourism industry are the key economic sector. Most of its population really depends on agriculture, which is almost 74% of its population. In Cambodia, rice is one of the major commodities beside planted corn and sweet potatoes. However, rubber also one of the major sources of trading, and it's become one of the foreign currency income. So as the conclusion, all these activities really helped Cambodia to increase their foreign investment and international trade. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.
My name is Evelyn and my metric number is 264040. My topic is about anti-money laundering complex in Cambodia. Before I talk about it, I would like to give a short brief what is anti-money laundering is. Anti-money laundering refers to a set of laws and regulations that's to stop the criminals from hiding their illegal funds or income. In Cambodia, anti-money laundering has been amended in June 2007. Before that, it has been listed under Financial Action Task Forces. However, in February 2015, Cambodia has been removed from the list. It's because it has been identified as anti-money laundering and combating the financials of terrorism. Cambodia Financial Intelligence Unit has been extra control over all the banks and other developments such as casinos, retailers, and entities. It is also adopting risk-based approach for conducting risk assessment and has been enforced rights to penalty or freeze any properties or asset if it is related to money laundering. The function of money laundering in Cambodia is to development of internal policy and procedures, develop programs for the prevention, detection of money laundering, and resolve the issues of joint cooperation between authorities and regulators, design of complex officers, ongoing or consistent trains of employers, monitor and inspection on the financial institution. Geographical location that pose higher risk is the U.S. State Money Laundering, Whitelist Equivalent, Cooperation Index, World Government Indicator, Failed States Index. Thank you.